Hello, Burned-In teachers. This is Amber Harper from burnedinteacher.com and Burned In EdTech. I am welcoming you today to teach you how to get to G Suite 123 and why it is that I created it and how to use it to the best of your ability. Just so you know, if you are feeling burned out, frustrated, overwhelmed with your job as a teacher, if you scroll down here when you go to burnedinteacher.com, you will see a place that you can actually sign up for your free guide to start burning in today by building relationships with your students, their families, your administrators, and your coworkers to try to help you to burn back in as quickly as possible. So to get to G Suite 123, all you do is hover over the Burned-In Teacher EdTech, BIT EdTech, and click on G Suite 123. It will take you to my Google site that I've created. I created the website, but I did not create the content. I'm not a huge fan of recreating the wheel. As an educator for 12 years, I know that there is a lot of power in using the amazing content that is out there for us teachers. But as an EdTech consultant and Google trainer, I felt terrible sending teachers away from me without giving them any solid, organized resources to use whenever they left. So I created this G Suite 123, G Suite for EDU 123. And basically what it is it is called this because I created one explanation of each Google tool, 2 helpful YouTube tutorials, 3 other online resources. Now, these 3 online resources are actually going to give you ideas on how to use these tools with students or for yourself as a teacher. Same thing for these YouTube tutorials. They will vary depending on the actual tool that I am highlighting on that page. But I also include a bonus. Some pages have a forced copy of the tool that you are learning about so you can practice. And then, of course, again, I have this disclaimer down here just letting you know that I am not claiming that I created these resources for you. These are just things that I have found as a teacher would have really helped me in the classroom when I was a full-time classroom teacher. And of course, you can go to burnedinteacher.com to learn more about my mission to help frustrated teachers to be happier, more fulfilled humans. So this is our homepage, okay? So this is just explaining what it is. But if I was really struggling with how to use Google Docs, for example, all I would have to do is go up here to all of these different pages and you'll notice that I have them organized in alphabetical order. So you might see a Google tool that you have never heard of before. If you hover over more, then you'll see that I actually have this drop-down menu that comes down for showing you each of the Google tools and how they can be used as teachers and for your students. So if I click on Docs, it's a pretty commonly used Google tool. You'll see that, of course, it has the title here. It has the image that you can find in your own Google Drive. And then, of course, the explanation. What are Google Docs? Google Docs is an online word processor that lets you create and format documents and work with other people, which is the highlight of using G Suite in the first place. So that's the explanation. And then, of course, G Suite 123 stands for one explanation, 2 YouTube tutorials. So what I did is I watched several YouTube tutorials and picked the ones that seemed to be the most focused and most helpful for teachers. So I have this here. This is a quick Google Docs tutorial. So if you've never used it before or you don't really know how it would be helpful to you as a teacher, this is for you. And then, of course, this here is another explanation of how to use Google Docs within Google Drive. So these are very basic resources. All of these resources that I created were helpful to who I thought would be beginners to G Suite for education tools or G Suite in general, even if you're not a full-time teacher. Now, these 3 online resources will vary depending on the tool, but this one, for example, is Getting Started with Google Docs. This is the G Suite Learning Center, and once you go there, you'll notice that there are lots of different options for you to research different Google tools and how you can use them the most productively. How Google has quietly revolutionized document editing. So this is just information about kind of sharing with you the differences between using G Suite tools like Google Docs as compared to other software that's out there. And then you get to click here to practice. After you research, if you find something that you like, you don't have to go through all three of those resources. It's just to give you a general overview of what those things are and how you can use them. You can click here to practice using a Google Doc. It will force you to make a copy, and I'll explain to you in a moment how you can learn how to make a forced copy yourself. Okay? Once you make a copy, it's kind of like a copy machine. You can do whatever you want with that document. So I will just encourage you whenever you make that copy, once you click that, like I said, it will automatically go into your drive. And then I encourage you to use what you've learned from one of the tutorials or articles. I encourage you to go ahead and create a document. Maybe just type a few things under here like, hi, I'm using Google Docs. And then go ahead and share it with people the way that you have learned throughout these videos. So it's really meant to help you to learn, not just consume, and to help you utilize these tools, okay? Now, this is something new within the last month or 2 months, is I'm a huge fan of the Google Teacher Tribe podcast by Casey Bell and Matt Miller. They are two of my edu heroes, and I really look to them for a lot of advice and tools and tips on how to use these tools the best with students and teachers. So what I've done is if they have an episode on their podcast featuring a specific Google tool, then I go ahead and I add that link to their website right here on that page. So they have one episode about Google Docs specifically, and it redirects you to their website. So I, of course, am not taking credit for creating these things. These two are brilliant and helpful individuals, and they have a lot of really great tips and tools for you to use G Suite in your classroom. Okay, so I really highly encourage that you check that out. So another thing that I wanted to show you is there's a specific page for G Suite for EDU. If you are brand new to G Suite and you don't even really understand what it is, if you click there, there's a whole page on what G Suite for EDU even is. Okay, so this is just these are a few resources for you to learn what they are. All right, but specifically, I want to talk about this little drop-down menu here. So if you have never learned how to share and collaborate on a Google Doc, and this could be a Google Doc, a Google Slideshow, a Google Sheet, that is the magic and the power behind using G Suite for education tools, or G Suite tools in general, is sharing and being able to collaborate in real time using most of those tools. And then of course, I told you that I have a place here for you to learn how to force copy. So if you click on how to force copy, it actually shows you how it works. Now, there are not 2 videos for this and 3 resources. Well, I have 2 resources because it's just not necessary for learning just this one trick that is just really game-changing and making sure you understand the power of using these tools. So if you're curious about things like that, that is how you get there. For a long time, I struggled with the difference between add-ons, Chrome extensions, and of course, apps. So I have things about all of those things here, and really all of the apps are those tools that live in Google Drive, or they are web-based applications in or out of G Suite. You can go to the Chrome Web Store here and you can go searching for those apps. So that is all I have for you today, but I really hope that you are encouraged and that you learn some things about all of these different Google tools that are available to us as educators and as people who just want to get organized and want to simplify our digital life. Burn on and have a great day.